welcome to another crafty video. In today's one I thought I would show you the samples that I have been playing around with and creating with the Vintage Makers collection from Arden Creative Studios. If you didn't know, I'm on their design team. The first collection that came out was called Hidden Creek. I didn't do one of these videos for that though. I kind of wish I had, but I don't have my samples anymore. But this is the second collection, which is called the Vintage Makers collection. And these are all of the gorgeous products that are in here. We've got an actual little mini journal, we've got the PET tape, we've got ephemera packs in vellum, we've got dies, gorgeous stamps, a bunch of stencils in this collection, 6x8 paper packs, a multi different sort of amalgamation of papers and things in there as well, more different stamp sets and die sets and things in here too. If you want a full look at everything that's in this collection, you can go over to my Patreon and join our community. I'll try and put one of those QR codes up here. If not, it'll be linked in the description below the video. I've been over there posting consistently for about 7 or 8 months now, and so there are over like 40 videos for you to go and catch up on if you want to join us over there. But that video is over there, a full look at every single thing that's in the collection. It goes on for quite a while, but my patrons have been enjoying it, so yeah. Then these are the cards that I have created. A couple of these you'll see some sped up tutorials on them on my channel at some point, but yeah, these are the ones that I have created with this collection. So let's have a look at this one first, because I've got two of this because I created one and then I recreated it for the video. The original one that I created was this one, I think, and then I recreated this one in the video. I think that's the way around. I was trying to figure out which one was which then, but anyway, I used a bunch of different Simon Hurley inks actually. I was playing around with some ones of those. I got them cheap in the closing down sale from Creative Expressions, and they had some beautiful colours in there, and they're really lovely to stamp with as well. So I was playing around with those, and also my Stamp and Spin for this too. There's beautiful like grungy elements in this collection, like Maker's Marks I think she's called them, and so you've got like coffee rings here, you've got like just grungy scratchy kind of marks, and I was playing around with using them in my Stamp and Spin, the Sizzix Stamp and Spin, and I did like 4 of this one, but then I switched and did the circles over here, and then I was doing some straight arrows, but then I mixed and put twirly arrows in there as well to really mix it up, and I think it gives a really fun effect. And then I used some of the gorgeous PET tape over the top. If you wonder what PET means, I'm using my chemistry knowledge now, but I'm pretty sure that PET stands for polyethylene terephthalate, which is just a type of plastic basically, so that's what PET tape means. The original ones in the Hidden Creek collection were actually a glossy finish, but the two that are in this Vintage Makers collection are beautifully matte, which is really lovely. I love this matte finish, and I love the aging that's on here as well. You don't really notice it or notice how beautiful it's going to look when it's on the roll, but as soon as you stick it down, you have this beautiful brown sort of aging around the apertures in the tape. It looks absolutely fantastic, and the repeating pattern on it, it's a continuous roll, but the repeating pattern is 12 inches, so if you love scrapbooking, it's perfect for your scrapbook layouts, because you know you've got a beautiful long repeat to be able to use, but it's also great for your card making as well. And these little butterflies are from the other roll of PET tape that has small little elements on there. There's a little ticket on here too, and they just blend in seamlessly when you put the tape over the top of the other tape as well, and there's all sorts of different elements on that roll too. But that was the first card that I created, just playing around with like a collage-y sort of style. Then this is another one that I did a tutorial for the Arden Creative YouTube channel. This one was my original one, and then I recreated this one, but showing you how you can use your masking tape, whether it is a low-tack tape, the mint tape from scrapbook.com, or any washi tape that you have. You can mask off different areas, ink it first, and then use different portions of different stencils to give a completely different look. It looks very fun and vibrant, whereas the stencils kind of look a little bit more vintage, because this one is very distressed, this diamond one, and this one's more of like a flourishy sort of design. But when you use bright colours with them and use them in a funky kind of shape, you can get some really cool patterns and effects out of them as well. So that's what I did for the background. I used some of the gorgeous Squiggles dies for the foreground elements here, and some of the gorgeous like botanically leafy kind of portions on here as well with the splatters. Those are in the stamp set too, and there's also these fantastic little sentiments in there as well. I changed the foliage piece and the sentiment for each of these different cards, but you've got shine bright, just do your best, make a wish, reach for the stars, and that previous one said sending you hugs. Those little sentiments are absolutely adorable. And the next collection has a solid little stamp that doesn't have the wording in, that's very similar to this, so you can definitely pair them up together and create some fun effects as well. But that's the second card. Then the third one, that's also a tutorial that you should see on my channel at some point, this one is using that fantastic embossing powder sprinkling technique, and I've done 3 of the beautiful fronds on here, some of the gorgeous, I love these, I can't remember what she actually called the stamp set. Oh, they're called clusters, sentiment clusters. So they're like beautiful little rows of words that all along the same kind of theme, and it's like a little clustery sort of sentiment, and adding that in multiple generations of ink and then with like another sentiment over the top looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really gorgeous design, and I love this set in particular. I'll show you this one in full. Love this set. It's got so many gorgeous elements on here, and it's really, really fun to play with as well. But this was that embossing powder sprinkling technique that I've done on a couple of different videos before, I think, but I really like how this one turned out, and I love these sort of little stamps that are in there too, with ampersands and commas and brackets and all sorts in there as well. Then I did this card playing around with the ghosting technique with the Distressed Diamonds stencil. So I ink blended the background, I ink blended the notebooky ledger kind of stencil across here, and then I placed the Distressed Diamonds one on and sprayed through with water, so we got that ghosting kind of effect. And this is ink blending with those Simon Hurley inks as well. If you want a good one that isn't distressed, that blends nicely with water and does the ghosting effect, then those Simon Hurley ones are fantastic. And then I've also used a bunch of the different stamps here just to create some elements in the background. I've used a torn piece of one of the papers, and these also fall out of the papers as well. There's also like a die cut sheet that has lots of different sentiments in there as well, so I've just popped one of those on there with a bit of twine just to finish that card off. Then this one is one of my favourites that I created. I love these squiggles cut out of hollow waves. It looks so gorgeous with that little bit of holographic shine. This is one of the vellum ephemera pieces. This one's one of the laser cut pieces, and I've just stapled that on because I thought stapling went nicely with that stitched effect. And then I have used my Stamp and Spin and a couple of those Simon Hurley inks again to create my whole wreath kind of design. So I've done this one 8 times, this one 4 times, and this one 4 times in the in-between positions as well, to just build up a beautiful wreathy kind of circular design on my card. And then I've also randomly stamped in this beautiful scribbly circle kind of design as well, and then I just covered the centre with that beautiful vellum piece. So I really love this one, really nice. I love how that turned out. Then these two, I was saying in my Patreon video, I could not tell you how I created these backgrounds because they went through so much. They started just by taking both of the stencils, using some white texture paste through them onto white card, just so I had a couple of backgrounds dry that I could play around with. But I did so many different things to this. These started off being sprayed with some oxide inks in bluey green tones. Now this one did stay in bluey greeny kind of tones, but this one gone completely the other direction. And then I think after that I did some copper gilded touch on there, and then I was playing with like gesso, bits of gold, different metallic luster kind of paints as well. I was throwing all sorts at these, and I really could not tell you exactly how I created either of them, and I don't think I could recreate either of them either. But they look fantastic, don't they? They give a really beautiful aged feel. And when I had finished these, I was kind of thinking, oh my gosh, they're not going to go with anything from this collection. But when I was looking through the laser cuts, there was this beautiful dainty little floral piece, and it was in the perfect tones to go with this, these beautiful like deep burgundy colours. There was a beautiful butterfly that was in the perfect tones as well, and there was also this little heart charm here. So I used a couple of the words from the paper pad. This one's one of the vellum ephemeras here, and then those 3 from the laser cuts, and just layered them up on top of there to finish that card off. And you can see the texture of the stencil and the texture paste and all of the sort of random colours that are in this background. It's like got greeny, browny, goldy, coppery, reddy, all sorts of different colours in that background. But I really like how it turned out. I think it's really lovely. And then this one's gone much more brown, blue, with those sort of gesso-y elements in there as well. And again, a couple of those from the paper pack, the sheet that they've come out of. And then this is one of the laser cuts, because it's double-sided, and then I've also used a piece of the vellum ephemera there as well, and I've just layered them up to give a dimensional kind of effect. And that butterfly went really nicely with the colours that I'd used as well, and it also goes nicely with the distressing on those sentiments too. Then the final card is using a lot of the beautiful ephemera and laser cut pieces to sort of create a different kind of layout for me. But I do really like how this one turned out, and I did also use the die in the background, the beautiful Filmstrip die, and it is actually shadowed with hollow waves. I did do a very slight drop shadow, so it's not really very evident, but if you catch it in a certain light, you see that little rainbow effect on it behind. And then the top one is die cut out of one of the patterned papers. It's a really dark colour with a scripty pattern on it, and it worked really nicely for die cutting out. This piece here is actually one of the patterned papers. It's like the bottom half of it, and it looks like an old envelope, so I just cut that into a rectangle to go on my card, and then just began popping bits and pieces out and layering them up. Then I felt like I needed some more white, because I knew I was going to put it onto a white card blank, so I came back in with the distressed diamond stencil and some white texture paste and put that in the background. And then once that was dry, I just layered up all of the other elements on top to create this really like clustered kind of design. But you have all of these beautiful pieces in there, and they work so nicely. And I've also used an inch diameter round epoxy dome that I had in my stash to go over the top of one of these pieces. I can't remember if that was the laser cuts or the paper. Well, I can't remember where that piece came from, but I put the epoxy dome over the top. The Hidden Creek collection also had circles that were the perfect size for those as well. And we've got a piece of vellum ephemera there and a torn piece of vellum ephemera down there as well. And I did also use some of the vellum from the mixed pack that kind of has all sorts in it from this collection as well, to put behind the film strip too. So that was those are all of the cards that I created using the beautiful Vintage Makers collection from Arden Creative Studios. So if you want to get hold of any of these pieces, I will put my links in the description box below the video. You can actually get them from scrapbook.com and Simon Says Stamp if you are elsewhere, or in the UK, lots of independent retailers have all of the products as well. So do check out your local craft shops if you still have any, or any of the smaller independent retailers as well, because they will be really glad of your business. So I hope you enjoyed this video with a few different examples on here. I'm going to be doing a few more videos like this over here, and then the full in-depth versions of all sorts of bits and pieces to do with them will be over on my Patreon, and then the tutorial kind of videos will sort of come out once they've been on Arden's YouTube channel. I'll put them over here as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye!